Hey guys, Nate Austin here, coming to you from the old silo. Welcome to Shenango County.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Memorial Day weekend. This weekend we're down at my mom and dad's house. Got a big parade tomorrow, but we figured we'd come up, we'd show you guys all the new calves this spring. They're pretty cute. What are you doing? Dad's gonna show us kind of who's who here.
Well, they were all born within 3 weeks, except for the cool looking kid down there out of Lucy. That one's only a couple weeks old, but the rest of them are about 6 weeks old now. We have more bulls than heifers. Last year's bull was Black Angus, so there is a little bit of color in there. The one lighter colored one is out of the lightest Hereford down there. And the one facing the other way is a little lighter out of the other red Hereford, and the rest of them are basically black. But there is one, the oldest bull, which is laying up there. His mother is half Holstein, half Angus, so he's a quarter Holstein, but he's a fair amount bigger than the rest of them. I don't know if it's because he gets more milk to drink or just bigger structure, but they're pretty comfy.
Yeah, they're pretty relaxed.
To say the least.
So pretty much all Angus and Hereford cross.
Yep.
With obviously the Holstein.
Yep.
That brown one is
Out of Wilma.
He's Angus too?
Yep.
Didn't you guys have a Charolais bull at some point, or did he? He wasn't here.
There's one Charolais cross, which is a yearling heifer that's not with these guys at the moment.
Oh, is that? I see one way down across the creek down there.
Yep, probably. And Lucy's obviously has some line back in her.
Lucy's the red one. That's my mom's cow, which a lot of these cows go back to her.
Yep. Yep.
Cute little buggers, though.
That's the red.
You didn't have to get up, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Why are you trying to hide them from me?
There you go on, Lucy. There's a lot of hiding spots.
They're just enjoying the fact that it's not raining. What? What? We'll see you guys later. you doing? Huh?
Today, 21st?
I don't know.
Gotta be close to her birthday.
A little cloudy, but not terrible.
He's also a corn Holstein.
Got a Holstein head.
This cemetery was established in the early 1800s, and this stone wall is absolutely, except for right here where a tree must have landed on it, I'll show you, it's an amazing thing. But this chain here, people that know tire chains, it's an old tire chain. Pretty cool.
This is right up in the top of the pasture, so the only way to get here
It's through my property.
is pretty much the way we just came.
I own around the entire cemetery, which isn't, it might be an acre. These cedar trees, I'm assuming, have been here since the beginning of time, early 1800s, and the railroad went right through here. Oh, probably 50 feet the other side of this east wall. And it was on a railroad bed right to here. And then there was a trestle that probably went about 200 yards and landed back on the other side of the road that I live on and continued on down into the Susquehanna Valley, which is about 4 miles from here. But that was a railroad that hauled cattle and milk and livestock and people, freight.
You can kind of see the high spot there.
Yeah. I mean, that was the major mode of transportation when it was horses.
Just a bank on one side and a bank on the other.
Yeah.
And it ends kind of right where that tree there is.
Yeah. When we leave, we can go down on the lower bed where the granite pillars were that held the trestles that held the tracks. And they had a coal pile down there where they stopped and loaded on coal and unloaded coal or whatever, right in this location by the cemetery.
Look at this wall though, isn't it?
It's just amazing. It'd be hard pressed to build a wall like that today, I think, and last that long. But there's a lot of people that were.
If I remember, there's a lot of young, like kids in here, right? Wasn't it?
Well,
one of the smallpox.
I think it was smallpox or the plague or something. There's some servicemen that live in here.
This one was, well, this person lived to be 28 to 92. So.
Yep. But there's one in particular I want to show you over here. And I bought this property from the Slafers. They had the dairy just down the road. Perk and his father lived in the home that I live in now and owned this property. And they bought it from the Foots. Now,
1843 to 1864.
you people at home, pause this video. But Mr. Foote outlived all of his children.
1812 to 1869.
Yep. And
His
these
children
kids
died.
all died at 5 years old, 8 years old. He
From
was
some
a
kind of
teenager.
sickness, you think?
Yeah, they all, you know, got one of those diseases back then. But you know, Charlie died in 1869 after all of his kids.
His wife didn't die till 1900.
1900, right?
She was 81.
You think about that, and God, that's just, it's something that is hard to fathom, but, you know, modern medicine and vaccines and things have improved all that, but boy, it was a different time. It was just a different time altogether.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Speaking of Memorial Day, you got a veteran here.
Yep.
The town put the flags up?
Uh,
Because they're technically responsible for mowing up
I
here,
believe
right?
so, yeah.
I don't know. That stone's pretty
1865, so what war would that be, Dalton?
well. 61 and 65. Gosh, I don't...
Civil
I don't
War?
know my history well enough.
Is that the Civil War? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel stupid for not knowing.
Yeah.
We'll look that up.
There's another one over here, too.
Most of these are pretty well worn down, so you can't really read them. Be a cool spot for one of those cemetery people to come up that does the stone refurbishing.
Yeah. Like this is 1863. But there's a bunch of kids at,
Morgans, lots of Morgans.
yeah. This a Weiss.
Yep, Luella. Rebecca, wife of James Houston. It's kind of funny they didn't even put her full name, they just put Rebecca, wife of.
Gilbert.
57.
Yeah.
Again, 1880.
Born June 6, 1859, died March 14, 1862.
4 M's and 17 D's. I don't know what that means.
What's that?
It says on the bottom, 4 M's and 17 D's. I wonder what that means.
Don't know.
Well, you got to give it one thing. It's a peaceful spot to be buried. Nobody's bothering you up here.
No.
You got woods that way for a few miles before you hit anything else. The only reason I know is we used to chase the cows and they got out all the way up to Never Never Land.
Yeah, they'd go that way.
That was
put
before.
high tensile fence in at some point, and they haven't been getting out since then. But
Used to be barbed wire, and they figured out real quick they could get through it. Yeah, see? Oh, that's 1821 to 1904. I thought it was... That must be a stone that tipped over. Pretty cool.
that high spot, and it went straight through here. There was 2 granite pillars, or maybe 3, and with the trestles up holding the tracks, probably 24 feet over.
There's still little piles of coal there from where they used to dump or clean out or whatever. Over 100 years ago.
Yep.
This is a hickory grove. A whole bunch of shagbark hickories, right?
I don't know, but there's one other tree right in the middle. I'm assuming
big tree there. That's the one he's talking about. Seeded all of this. Yep. I think they're shag bark hickories, if I remember correctly.
Get close to the bark, I think it's people that know.
I was gonna say, throw in the comments if I'm wrong. I think it's I think that's what we looked up at one
I
time.
don't know how old this tree would be, but it's
That's an old one.
It's pretty cool. One tree made
Hundreds.
hundreds.
Yeah, this whole hillside here. They must not grow overly fast, because I remember when we were here, it didn't seem like they were babies, but
But look at all of these hickory nuts. If you see, I mean, it's just littered with them.
oops, fertilizer.
Yep.
Huh.
And there's one hickory tree up top. We'll go look at that. I don't know how it's still standing. Now there was a family of squirrels living in this hollow tree. But look how healthy it is up top.
Hey, you wonder how stuff can get up there.
But yet, it's so hollow, it's crazy. The whole center is essentially just 3 arms. 1, 2, 3 in the front.
That's a big old tree.
Yeah. This is my favorite spot. For sure. Like to build a house here, but then I'd have to build a driveway and a bridge and run power. But it's a pretty peaceful spot.
Well, we're gonna head off the hill and head back to the party before Mom starts calling, wondering where we are. We'll show you guys the bull real quick before we end the video. So this is Snoopy. He's gonna breed the breeding bull here in what, a few weeks?
Yep. A week before we're gone. He's a British White Park. Out of a Black Angus, but bought him from a neighbor, and he bought his sire from a good registered farm up in northern New York somewhere. But we're kind of interested to see what kind of calves we get out of him. You know, whether they'll be white or speckly or all different kinds maybe.
I really like the British Whites, which I believe they got to be somehow related to the British White Park, or maybe they're the same thing.
They might be the same thing.
Me and beef guys can tell us, but
Yep. But,
I think they're just cool looking.
he gets about 6 pounds of cornmeal a day and hay, and he got his own salt block, and he's kind of mad he's in here by himself, but we don't want calves born in February. We prefer to wait till the end of March.
They're supposed to be pretty good marbling too, from what I've read.
I don't know. He's a good boy. So it is what it is. We don't get too worried about things.
We got the hay burners and the little hay burner. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap the video up here. We're going to get back to the party, but I hope everyone has a good holiday weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you guys in the next one. Rock on.